Hi, Sekar. Good morning.
Good morning, Manju.
Hi. So let's start. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. This is Manjunatha, responsible for customer success at Instellars. Imagine you are a bank struggling with slow and inefficient recovery processes, manual tasks, missed opportunities, and unhappy customers. Every attempt to improve feels like it's just not enough. Now, what if you could automate the routine steps? Use data to make smarter recovery decisions. Strengthen your relationships with customers, all while speeding up your recovery process. At Insulas, we have built a solution that can help you just do that by leveraging Pega technology and AI-driven decisioning using the customer decisioning hub engine from Pega Systems. We enable you to recover debts faster and more efficiently. So in this session, we'll also cover how our solution help automate, optimize collection processes, integration with the customer decisioning hub, and also how to send early payment reminders or alternative payment plans, and the overall architecture, the functional architecture, and the technical architecture of our collection solution. We'll also walk you through the platform itself and share some the actionable strategies. So feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we'll definitely address them during the Q&A. So let's dive in. With me have Sekar Jothimani, who is a global practice head and delivering collection solution to one of our customer. Hi Sekar, thanks for joining in.
Hi, Manju.
So let's begin. So I just wanted to start with, can you explain the key features and benefits of our collection solution?
Sure, Manju. Our solution is, we have designed to make this collection process smarter and more efficient, Manju. There are many features. I'll highlight few of them. First is, we have automated the collection process. And using the workflow, right, what we done it out is, we have prioritized the accounts based on the customer risk profile. So when I say customer risk profile, I'll quickly, I want to show a slide. Our collection application has been built using risk-based collections. I'll just go through it in detail. So first is,
Sure.
as I said, right, so when I prioritize the customer based on the risk profiles, right, this helps the team to focus on the most important cases so that they can go and recover the debts faster. And as our solution, right, the platform integrates seamlessly with existing systems, and which ensures the smooth operations. And also our solution, right, we are integrated with CDH, Customer Decision Hub, which take this step further, where using CDH we are analyzing each customer risk profile and the payment history to recommend this personalized strategies. This not only help to improve the overall collection process, but also it maintain a good customer relationship. So in the screen, right, I was mentioning about the risk-based collection, right? You can see that in a slide. What is the first thing is, first, the customer data is loaded into the customer decision hub for risk assessment. Next, what we'll do it out is, using a CDH, we will evaluate the data and calculate the customer risk score, whether this customer is a low risk customer or a medium risk or high risk and all. So then the risk score would be added to the customer, the contact data. Then, the Pega would process these contacts into batches to create a case. Using a customer risk and delinquency and the past payment patterns and other patterns, and what are the earlier collection strategies rules which will get applied to create respective cases. Let's say whether we need to create a phone call case or home visit case and all, right, we'll be creating it out. And finally, this case, once a case has been created, and it will be assigned to the respective collector depending on the, again, based upon the customer risk profile. So this is the entire, I would say, risk-based collections, Manju. Next is when it comes to payment reminders or CDH actions, right? I would say we call it as an automated dunning process, which is nothing but which ensures, sending a timely payment reminders and follow up the preferred channels, whether it's through email or mobile or whether any notifications, right? So this helps to prevent any missed payments, which helps to reduce the delinquency rates, and also improves the cash flow. So with this consistent engagement across the different channels, right, the customer always receives, the personalized and unified communication, Manju. So in overall, at nutshell, right, our solution, right, it speeds up the collection cycles and it reduces the overdue payments and improves the customer satisfaction, Manju.
So what I'm saying is the solution is gonna, leverage the CDH and then provide the risk assessment, and then also creates, depending upon the risk that you have calculated on the each contract profile, it's gonna
Yes.
create respective cases, including the home visit or field visit or
Yes,
the
Manju.
litigation case or repossession case and etc. Right? So that's
Yes,
what
Manju.
the solution is gonna
Yes.
do. So just one step going behind, right? So you talked about some of the advantages of the solution. So can you
Mhm.
briefly explain what
Mhm.
could be the common challenges in the collections management
Sure,
or
Manju.
banks or financial institutions?
Sure, Manju. So there are many challenges normally in the collection application, would be there. First is, from a collector's point of view, right? So the collectors often, they face unpredictable payment behavior. Some customers, they used to pay their payment on time, right? Sometimes, right, there would be a delay. So this inconsistency, right, always makes it's difficult to, forecast any cash flow and prioritize the collection, because some of the customers, they would be on time and some of them, right, they may not be, they will overdue, right? So next is managing the communication across multiple channels. So whether through calls or through email or any messaging apps, right, that is really complicated when it comes to challenging, I would say, because which leads to missed follow-ups. Let's say if a collector is not following with the customer with the proper communication, that leads to the follow-ups and all. So next is, data silos. When I say data silos, right, with the disconnected system, let's say if there are multiple systems are getting, in order to get the customer data, for example, if the collector is going and getting the data from a different system, and if there is no if there is no proper integrations between all the system, what would happen is it prevents the collector to accessing the customer data and also the payment history and also risk profiles, right? It would be very hard for a collector to understand the customer behavior and propose any payment plans and all, Manju. Next is always in terms of complexity in navigating compliance and regulatory rules, because each country it may have its own regulatory rules and all. So it's one of the real challenges from a collector point of view. From a customer point of view, if you ask me, yes. So there are a few challenges also. The customer always also faces challenges. Sometimes they make the payments, but those payments, right, it may not be shown up in their account, right, because of due to delays or integration issues and all. So this will cause unnecessary confusion, right? That is one of the challenges. And also many customers, right, they find a lack in terms of flexible payment plans. When I say payment plans, right, say for example, if a customer is facing financial difficulties and that particular customer is unable to make a payment on time, right, then if the payment plan is always too rigid, right, then that would discouraging a customer to make the payment on time, and they would be less likely to pay on time and all. So this is one of the challenging and all. And when it comes to, again, the communication, if there is a poor or inconsistent communication, it's also one of the challenging part from a customer point of view, Manju.
Understood. So what I'm saying is, the having the right customer 360 or a contract 360 related to that, understanding, the payment patterns of the customer, right, and also integrating with all the systems which is required to talk to the customers effectively. So what I also heard that sometimes the bank would have received the payment, but when they actually do the synchronization with their systems, the maybe the account name is mismatched with respect to what they have, right? And then there is a mismatch, and then it actually leads to not paid from the customer, and then again the call is going saying that, hey, you need to make the payment. So it's going to be a brand reputation challenge as well when it comes to without having the right system in place. So got it. So we heard about the challenges. So how does your solution address all these challenges?
Sure, Manju. See, our solution, right, as I mentioned, it automates the manual process, right, and removing the repetitive task and reducing the overall human mistakes wherever the collectors getting involved in terms of manual process. And also, this speeds up the collection cycles and the as as the solution is mainly focused on based upon risk-based collection, it allows the team to focus on more valuable activities like engaging with customers and developing any strategy plans and all. So this is one of the this is how we are addressing the challenges which normally in any collection application and all. So next is our solution, right? It offers enhanced visibility with interactive dashboards and real-time reports. So this feature, right, it helps the collectors to get useful insights about customer behavior, their payment trends. So what is the overall collection performance, right? Which allows the team, the collector team, to take a smarter and faster decision, right? So this is these are the these are the ways we are addressing the challenges, Manju. And moreover, right, I want to highlight one more point that we are using a AI capability. So our solution, right, it's using a power of AI for decision making with the seamless communication channel, where this AI engine works in real time and analyzing the data, which helps to make the decision faster and smarter way, Manju.
So I'll come back to the AI stuff in the later questions, right? So I'm just curious. So
Okay.
before going to the AI stuff, I just wanted to understand because I have seen and also people know that there are a lot of solutions when it comes to debt recovery, right? A lot of the products itself, which is actually offering the AI capability and all those stuffs. How does your solution stands out in the market?
Sure, Manju. So our solution, right, it offers a comprehensive approach with the full data visibility, right, with the customer 360 view, right. So that is the main aspect of our solution where later and I'll show the customer 360 and all. So with the automated workflow, right, what I'll do is with the automated workflow and with the auto case creation, right, based upon the risk factors, right. So this collection process will work, and we also integrated with auto dialers. So by that way, right, they can reach out to the customers in a faster way, right. And as the solution is built using a Pega platform, the situation layer cake, it makes it easier to manage a multi-country rollout with meeting the regulatory and compliance standards. So one of the real time example which I want to share over here is, so for one particular customer, we have done a country rollout within a 6 weeks of time, where with the power of Pega situation layer cake, we could able to roll out the country rollout in a much faster way, Manju. And also, as our solutions uses omni-channel communication, which ensures the customers enjoy the smooth and personalized experience, whether they are engaging through a web or mobile and all. This is main of the omni-channel communications. And with this, our solution, right, it follows the industry best practices and with the business rules in terms of this risk calculation and all, right, and with the guided customer interactions, which helps the collectors to manage the customers effectively, right. So the best part is our platform is highly customizable, where we can go and easily customize the workflow, interfaces, and business rules, and even we can and align with the the client's business requirements and meet the customer requirement in line with the compliance and regulatory needs. Yeah.
So of course, I think with respect to leveraging the Pega platform, the situation layer cake for some of the global banks who are actually looking out for the country-wide product. That is one product that is working for multiple countries. It could be in the region of APAC or Europe. Then you can leverage the same platform across the country, still fulfill the compliance and regulatory requirements. So that's what you are actually highlighting, right? And also Pega is, as you know, built for change, and then it is configurable with respect to the processes. I think processes changes from country to country. It could be minor changes or major changes in terms of including the steps or including the sub processes itself. Understood. So I think let's actually, with all these things that I'm hearing, I just wanted to deep dive into the architecture. Like, how does your architecture looks like? So, can we have a architecture's explanation, please?
Sure, Manju. So if you see this architecture, right? So this solution, as I mentioned, right, it's built on the Pega platform. So the business left-hand side, you can see the collections application, which is built on the platform, and right-hand side, you can see the CDH and all. So this solution, as I mentioned, right, so business users can easily access it through a Pega portal from there, they can manage the different various collection activities, whether they are making a phone calls or scheduling, field visits or handling, reputation or starting litigation or whatever, the different processes which are get involved in collections. So if you see from a case types point of view, right, what we come up with the different case types. So one is the phone call case, field visit case, hardship case, reposition case, litigation, recovery, forced termination, provisional attachments, write-off, and provisional disposition. So these are the different case types, right? Based upon the customer behavior and based upon the customer journey, right? The respective cases will be get auto created. So if you take a phone call case, instead of instead of go through the all the case types, maybe for phone call and field visit, I'll just give a high level use case when the phone call case and field visit cases will be get created. So for phone call case, right, if the automated reminders do not work, still the agents step in, and then they need to call the customers. So this helps to understand their concerns, right, the client's concerns, and offer them flexible payment options and encourage them to prompt payments. So that's how the phone call the cases will get involved.
Process
If
works
it
out.
process works, yes, Manju. So when it comes to field visit, right, so for example, for high risk customers and multiple times, even though we send the payment reminders and still the customer is not unresponsive and all, right. So in that case, right, we'll send a external agency people to visit the customer and get their feedback. So this is the field visit case and
So
all. So
basically, to go and get the promise to pay kind of information, and when they can actually follow up and all those things. Got it.
yes,
Okay.
Manju. So if you take a litigation case, right, if a customer is still with the multiple follow-ups, with multiple, even the home visit case and all, right, home visit and not still if they are not paying on time and if they are not, following, if they are unresponsive, then in that case, right, the collector will start a legal action. So that involves an external law firm and then file a lawsuit and all. So that's where the litigation case process gets started. So likewise, right, as I mentioned, there are different case types which come up, the recovery case, the forced termination, provision and all. So the good part is the more sensitive cases like hardship, the provisional attachments, even the forced terminations, right, everything we have streamlined to make the process smoother so that it will be very
So I
helpful
think
for the
you're also categorized some of the processes, nothing but early collection strategies and late collection strategies with respect to the processes. Maybe sending a payment reminder or doing a phone call could be an early collection strategy, right? So
yes,
understood.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So on the other side, what we have is we have vendors and agent we have for other side for vendors and for agencies, right? We have built a IDC portal. We used to call it as Instellars Digital Collaboration Portal, where so this portal has been built using Constellation ACK pack, where mainly this is for collaboration between the agents and then the collection application collectors, which is mainly for making assignments and collaboration much easier. Portal for this portal is mainly used for collaboration purpose. And if you see from a system integration point of view, right, the system is plus the system is fully integrated with other key platforms like a loan origination system or payment system, or let's say it's a contract management system or online forms management system, right. So this gives the overall seamless and connected experience from a collection application point of view, Manju.
I just wanted to ask you one question here. So related to the vendor agency.
Mhm.
So what you're talking about is we have a separate portal for the vendors to get the a feedback faster from the customers. So
Right.
so these are the third party users outside of the organization, so they can go and do their field visit and etc., and then they can get the information, and then the information flows back to the collections application, right? So that's what
Yes,
you're
yes,
highlighting
Manju.
on the page. I think this is built by Constellation
Constellation
APIs.
ACK pack, yes.
Okay, so understood. So when it comes to the right hand side,
Yeah, the right hand side, the CDH, right, Manju? When you take CDH point of view, as I said, right, we begin the CDH. I mean, we begin CDH by collecting the customer data from the systems like the loan origination, payment system, or contract management system. So this includes in everything a raw data to drive insights, the predictive models, and the customer interaction history. So what is the powerful is that with this data is what are the data? It's processed in real time and allowing the systems to respond immediately. So once the data has been processed, then it comes to the NBA, next best action designer. So this is where the decisioning making happens, right? So the NBA designer uses a taxonomy where it defines the organizational structure, and it manages the constraints, follows the engagement policies, and it applies arbitrations to decide the communication channel to reach out to the customer and all. So this is about the NBA designer and all, the decisioning and all. So once the decision is made, right, then it moves to the customer experience phase. So this is where the customer receives the timely or relevant interactions like payment reminders or payment plan suggestions, or all those actions which are get involved, Manju. So with the CDH, right, the good part is with the adaptive model, the system, right, its ability to learn and adapt from every interactions. So which continuously improves how it engages with the customers, which is the best part in our solution, Manju.
So is it possible, I've understood, what CDH can do, but do you have any specific use cases that
Uh,
actually aligns the CDH, the integration with respect to the collection solution?
Sure, Manjo. So in terms of use cases, yes. So yes, use cases I have. So first, if you see from use case point of view, as I mentioned, right, customer risk segmentation. So this is one of the use case which I've discussed in this base collection. So which categorize the customers by risk level, right, using factors like customer data, demographics, and the industry type, and allowing the teams to focus on what type of customers are very important and all. Next is the predictive analytics, right? So the CDH uses the past payment behavior to predict, the potential defaulters, mainly, the late payments, who are, they're making the payment late, which help them to act before, any issues arise or not. So that is about the predictive analytics. And when it comes to the real-time engagements, right, that is something where the CDH engagement with the engagement and contact policy, we manage, customers' communication effectively and ensured, the timely and strengthening the overall customer relationship, Manju. So for actions, yes. So when it comes to actions, right, yes, you can see the list of actions here. So where first is, the payment reminders, right? So CDH, right, we automate the timely payment reminders, which includes, sending a promise to pay, follow-ups to keep the customers track with the payments. So we will be sending the payment reminders using CDH module. This is one of the use case, and with actions and all. So next is the payment plans. By reviewing the payment history of the customer, and CDH can recommend, right, whether based upon this customer's financial situation, whether hardship case or anything, personalized payments has to be suggested for this customer, so that it can ease the customer situation and all, Manju. That is more of a payment plans and all. Next is the grace period offers. So when I say grace period offer, this is sections to the payment date based upon the customer's risk profile, right? So we'll be giving some extra time for the customer to make the full payment and all. So these are the actions from a CDH point of view, Manju. These are the different I would say actions which are getting involved, Manju. So if you see overall, right, this with these actions, right, this proactive approach, it overall helps to for the effective collections, Manju, and maintain the good relationship with the customer, Manju.
So just from an IT architecture perspective, I'm just thinking. So you have a collection application, it's a different environment, and you have a CDH application, which has all these rules built, which is in a separate instance or environment, and the communication happens through the I think you mentioned the service APIs,
Yes.
where the collection event comes to the CDH engine, and then it actually makes the decision and then sends out the action effectively to the customer, right? So that's
Yes.
what. Okay. So
Yes.
this is actually like loosely coupled,
Loosely
two
coupled.
different systems, and then happens communication happens to the service API. And
Yes.
then also you said in the beginning, I could remember. So you also said, there is some contract update or a customer update that happens in terms of updating the risk profile directly to the customer database or the contract database, whatever that in the collection application, right? To do
Yes.
the risk assessment. Got it. So this is where now the CDH plays an important role. So again, so this is beautiful. We have heard enough with respect to the architecture and etc. I'm just curious to ask you another question. How does your solution, helps either the collection agents or even the customer itself. So how do you, once we get the solution in place and if we implement that, right? So banks and financial institutions expect the customer experience and also the collections experience, right? So both for the customers and also for internal employees. How does
Sure,
this
Manju.
actually overall improves their customer experience?
Okay, sure, Manju. So as I mentioned, our solution, right, uh, it done in a transformation of this existing collection process, whatever they are following it out, and which makes more efficient and seamless both for customers and also for the agents. So one more thing is we have implemented a self-service portal. It's again, the self-service portal has been built using constellation-based one, where it allows the customers to manage their accounts, which helps them to set up a payment plans independently, which is eliminating the need for to contact any agents or not. So this is more of a self-service portal for the customers. So overall, if you see, right, we have, with the solution, right, we have increased the collection efficiency by 30%. When I say how we are achieving this 30% is through integrating with auto railers for faster reach out to the customers. That is one of the main feature. Where and next is routing the calls to the same collector. So for example, if any collector is handling a particular customer, again if there is any inquiry has to be made with the particular with the particular customer, who were previously handled the case, right, they will be able to quickly resolve that issue or not. So next is
So you are
integrating.
actually sending the last call handler information to the
Exactly.
dialer, so that whenever there is a connect that happens, then you are actually, connecting back to the same collector
Connecting
to
back to the same collector
actually
information.
do the
Yes.
resolution steps.
So
Okay.
this will help us to enable quickly resolve that the communication issues, Manju. Next is integrating with WhatsApp, with the social media platform, and with the for one of the client we have integrated with WeChat, which is to expand the self-service options and improve the overall customer engagement, Manju. So if one more thing, I want also to share the success story for our solution, right? Where this solutions, right, it helped clients significantly improve the collection rates, and it helps them to improve their better managing NPS, non NPS and all. So and if you see from a achievement point of view, right, it helps them to achieve 30% increase in the collection rates, and the solution helps them to reduce in the overall call volumes by 40%.
That's great. So can we look at the application itself, Shekhar? Maybe the case types, what you talked about. How does that case type as a journey looks like, and also maybe the customer 360 that you talked about. Having all the data points with respect to the payment plans and all those things.
Sure, Manju. So these are the different case sets which are created, okay, for this in the collection
So
solution. So
hardship means if there is any financial
financial,
disability in
if
the
there is any
customer.
financial situation, financial difficulties where the customer is facing because of any medical emergency or job loss and all, right? So where they are unable to make the payment on time. So then based upon the customer risk factor and based upon the past payment, the payment date, payment, how they have done the past payments and all, right? So then CDH will evaluate and say that, oh, this is how for this customer the hardship has to be given and all, Manju. So where the customer there are two parts. One is where automatically the system can integrate with CDH, and then it'll to the collector it will show. Next is the customer also can put up a request saying that, yes, I want to avail the hardship and all. So that's the way the hardship case and all it works, Manju.
Can we
So
can
if
we
you
look at the home visit case also, and then see how does your vendor stuff that happens? Okay, select external agent, then it
So this
goes.
is select external agency, then send an email to the agent, then get the agent feedback, and then will be
So
following up with
this
this
is
one.
where I think the self, the vendor portal comes, where instead of sending just an email, so it also a
Yes,
case will be created back to the vendor, and then it actually comes back to the same collection case. Can we
yes,
look
Manju.
at a 360-degree view of this? Maybe you can create a phone call case and see how does that work.
Sure, Manju. Yeah, just. So this is a contract
So,
case where, yeah,
so you are so basically speaking, this will be auto created using the batch processes, but
exactly.
now you are for
Now,
that you are creating a okay one call
yeah.
case.
So with the phone call case, right, as I mentioned, everything will be automatically would get created. Whereas for just a demo point of view, right, I'm just creating this case. For example, I can go and create this contract, and then I can submit this case. So here you
Okay,
can
so
see the phone call
on
case,
the
right?
header you
Yeah.
have important information, DPD, that's a date past due, the risk level HR, that is what you're talking about. I think it
Yes.
has the categories as well, HR1, HR2, HR3 as well, right? So with
Yes,
respect to
Manju.
the risk assessment score,
Yeah.
okay, then
So
this is
yeah, so if you
information.
see the customer 360 point of view, right? What we have is, if you can see the customer information here. What are the details of the customer? The next is the contact info. So the contact info, what are the different contacts they are holding it out? Then it comes the asset information. So what are
So
the different
asset
products?
is nothing but okay, this
What are
particular
the
customer
different?
has both home loan and personal loan. Okay.
Correct, correct. So next is the payment informations where all the past payments will be shown, receipt information. Then what we have
Okay.
is we
So
have
this is the entire payment
payment.
pattern, right?
Right,
Okay.
correct.
Payment
So
history.
payments history. Then what we have is we have repayment plan,
Hmm.
and we have something called charge informations. So all those informations, right, would be covered as a part of payment information.
So what is that communication info?
So this communication info is nothing but what are the different cases, see, from a application point of view, right? Whether, let's say, the home visit case or the phone call case, all those things, right? So from an application point of view.
So is that something which is also gonna record if a customer has actually spoken to the customer service department than the collection department, or it could be any department. All those histories and
All those
communication,
things would be that's what, Manju, for each and every interaction, right? We are creating a
so
case,
that
right? So with,
the collector
yes,
can have effective
collector can have a 360
communication.
view of what last time, whether the home visit case happened and phone call case, and all, right? It will be get recorded in the system.
Okay, so that's I think it's a interesting and it's a comprehensive solution that you guys have built when it comes to collections. So is it
And
possible to share any success story, where you
uh,
have implemented this solution?
sure, Manju. So I'll share it out. Actually, no, I'll just explain the phone call case because we
Sure,
have just
sure, yeah,
created a phone call case, right? So
go for
the
that.
phone call case, so phone call case, if you see, right, you can see the target role, who is the target role, and what, whether the promise to pay and all. So let's say once they select the promise to pay, so what, when they are discussing with the customer, they can enter the promise to pay amount, and then they can, with the interaction with the customer, they can, with the customer's feedback, they can enter on which date, they can follow up with again them, and what would be the what would be the payment method, whether they're going to pay via RTGS or whatever, the EFT and all. So those information would be filled in by the collector. Then the case would be get
So this is an
would be
interesting
moved
question.
forward.
I have sorry to interrupt. So what if the customer has not paid on that follow-up time? So for example, they made a promise to pay.
Correct.
Maybe
Yeah.
they are going to say that okay, I'm going to pay on 25th of this month. So you
Sure.
captured the 25th. What happens on 26th if there is no payment done from the customer?
Sure, Manju. So again, the phone call case would be get created, and again, they will be following up with the customer,
So
right?
this particular case will be resolved, and then you're
In
going
this
to create
case,
another
this
call.
case will be get resolved, and the new case will be get created, and then will be assigned to the same collector, so that
Okay.
whoever
So
handled
that
this case.
again to do a phone call, hey, you
Yes.
promised on this date, but you're not paid. Okay, got it.
Yes, Manju. So, and also, as we have discussed about this phone call case, right? I would like to, quickly, walk through the one use case, the complete, the customer journey. That will be really helpful to understand the overall process, Manju.
Hmm.
Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah,
So that,
sure.
right,
I just
it'll
wanted
be
to
very
understand.
clear from a the right from CDH point of view, and also from a from a the case creation point of view, right, how the reminders would be sent and all, everything, right? So it'll be very clear.
Sure.
So quickly, yeah, I'll share this
So
slide.
that could be an interesting one. So I was asking about the success story itself. So
Yeah,
maybe
Manju.
oh, this is a customer journey. Okay, when it
Yeah,
comes
so
to the
this is the customer journey where, if you see, 2 days before the due date, right, we'll send a the payment friendly reminder to the customer, letting them to know that the payment is coming up soon and all. So and then make sure they can pay on time. So this is just a reminder and all. So next is 3 days from the payment date, right? If the payment has not been made, again we'll be sending a gentle warning kind of a reminder to the customer, asking them to take care of the outstanding balance. So this is second action. And third is 10th day from the payment due date, right? So still the payment is overdue, and we'll follow up with the phone call case. So this is where we have showcased the phone call case, and the collector, right, will be talking to the customer and remind them about the overdue payment. So this is the phone call case would be get created. And next is 12th day from the payment due date, right? The formal warning would be sent and late fees would be added to the account. So this is where if still the payment has not been settled. And 18th date from the payment due date, right? Again, the phone call case, you asked a question, right? What would happen? Let's say the phone call, what are the date which they promised, and still they are not, paid and all, right? So anyway, the phone call case would be created again, based upon the promise date. The phone call case would be created again, will be reminding the customer for the overdue payment. So on 20th date from the payment date, again, we'll be sending a notification to the customer about the scheduled field visit, because we need to inform to the customer saying that hey, there will be someone will be visiting your home, and then checking with you about the feedback, or why the overdue is pending and all. Then on 30th day from the payment date, right? So still if the payment is not being made by a customer, that's where the case is being escalated to external agency, and then field visit of the customer location and all will happen. So this is the overall customer journey.
I think
So
this is just not based on the DPD, and it is also maybe more than the DPD, understanding the payment patterns and also the risk associated, that is the output of the CDH engine. So with all these things, so you have reportion, you have put a car icon, that is auto loan. Okay,
yes,
understood.
yes, the reportion comes in only for vehicle loan for one thing, whereas in the financial institutions there is no reportion and all. So yeah.
Got it. So thanks for that, Shekhar. So is there any success story where our solution improved collection efficiency with any of our customer?
Yes, Manju, that's what, as I mentioned, our solutions, right, it helped significantly improve their collection rates
Okay,
for
so
better
that you have
manage their
already
NPA. So, and they achieved 30% increase in collection rates, Manju, and overall the call volume is reduced by 40%. Yes.
and then I think it's the same platform that you rolled out for the entire APAC, and also
Correct.
now you're doing it for Europe for more than 3 or 4 countries, and then the other countries are actually in the queue, right, to do the
Correct.
rollouts. So So another question with respect to this, right? So you have done a solution. Are there any upcoming features that you wanted to introduce as part of this solution that you are actually are you improvising this product further because we are
Yes,
talking
Manju.
about AI and etc. Right here.
Yes, we are planning to roll out, the virtual agents, which will provide 24 hours on support for any payment inquiries, and then for account.
Virtual AI agents, you mean? Okay.
Yes, yes, Manju. Which will ensure the customers can get immediate assistance at any time they need and all. So this is one of the feature which we want to do it out. Next is we want to implement some advanced models for through a customization app to analyze the customer risk profiles more accurately. So whatever we have come up with, already we have come up with the risk-based algorithm, but still with using a models and all, right, we want to fine tune those customer risk more for calculating the risk profiles and all, Manju. So that will helps to streamline the complete speed up the collection process to make the decisions, making a process easier and all, Manju. And the third thing is, we want to go and improve the capabilities and mobile capabilities to provide a seamless experience to customers and also to the agents, Manju.
So that's interesting. All the best for those features to be incorporated in the solution. So, Shekhar, let's say as a bank or a financial institution wanted to actually, leverage this particular solution into our collections or whatever it is, right? So, what is the first step? How does the overall implementation starts? If at all, if you want to take your solution and then do it.
Sure, Manju. We have, what are the solution which we come up, right? We have it's already we have a framework in place, right? So which covering a processes, data, and integrations, touch points, and all, right? So with this solution, we can totally skip the ideation phase and immediately, we can start leveraging the platform, right? So this is a one of the, I would say, benefit of our solution. So whatever, what is the next step is, so we can align with business on in terms of data integrations and regulatory and compliance requirements, and understand the existing process. So with that, right, we can quickly go and configure the changes, immediately, and then we can address all those things. So I'm very confident that we can deliver with these solutions, right, with the minimum MVP, and have it up and running in the client environment within 3 months, Manju, because we have
Oh,
come up with the extensive solution. Yeah, we have come up with the extensive
that's
solution.
a
This
great
solution.
promise. In 3 months, you are able to implement the solution by doing the integrations and also configuring the processes as per the banks or financial institutions,
Yeah.
and ensure that MVP can be up and running in production in just 3 months of time. Okay.
Yes, Manju. So, and our team, our teams, or I mean, our team have a very good expertise in collections domain, where we have done a multiple deployment to multiple rollouts to different clients, rollouts in different regions. So that is one of the expert area where we are very good in collections applications.
I think the confidence is coming from because you have the templates ready of the processes, you have the placeholders ready for the integration. I think you have done the integrations across multiple countries. One country will have a different contract database or customer database. So you have handled those multiple country rollouts. So that's why you are so confident that you can, implement this solution at customer side in just 3 months of time. Okay, that's definitely it's an impressive commitment. So thank you, Sekar, for walking us through the solution, the collection solution. I think I don't have any questions. I've not actually received any questions in the comments. So thank you all for joining us today. We hope you gained valuable insights into how you can improve your debt recovery processes, with the power of Pega technology and also the CDH, which is AI-driven decisioning engine. If you are ready to take the next step in transforming your debt recovery, I think myself and Shaker here to help. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions, or you can also schedule a deeper dive session with us to understand how our solution works for you. The email ID and phone numbers are getting displayed. That's actually Shaker's coordinates, so you can always contact. So thank you once again, and we look forward to helping you to improve your collection processes. So have a great day. Thank you for joining us. Take care.
Thank you, Manju. Thanks, Manju.